Good morning, everyone. Welcome back to the Reload. Monday morning, December 20th, guys. We're getting there. We are 5 days away from Christmas morning. I know y'all are excited. I'm excited. I'm pumped. Can't wait to see what Jesus brings me Christmas morning. Y'all know what I'm talking about. It's been a good weekend, man. It's been a rainy weekend. It rained all weekend here. Turned cold all of a sudden too. Saturday morning it was really humid and warm. It was short weather, and then yesterday still rainy and a cold wind started blowing, and it got almost to freezing last night here in South Carolina. But you know, that's what happens when global powers control the whole world's weather, right? Climate change, all that good stuff. Anyway, hope you guys are having a great Monday morning. Let's see what we got going on. Cheap, what's going on, man? I know, right? Wake up, Jeep's here, kicking it. What's going on with you? Good morning. Big Red, good morning, man. Good to see you always. Rockadoodle Farm. All I can say is cock-a-doodle-doo, my friend. Nikki, good morning. Good to see you. Days, my brother. Hillbilly Homesteader in the house. Big Chap, good to see you, man. Me and Big Chap going to be hanging out real soon with Sage News. We'll let you guys know when and where. Arkansas Whoop Ass, always a pleasure. Tammy, good morning, sis. And Tammy C. Tammy's be representing up in here in the Reload, y'all. Big Mama Steph, Ashley, good to see you. Good morning, good morning. Flintstone Girl, what's going on with you? Militant, my brother. I hear you, man. Copper Goat. Roots, Rocks, and Feathers. Just get it in, huh? I spilled your Joe. Uh-oh. Good morning, Kathy. Good morning, my sister. Bioxo in the house. Ghetto. Good morning, my friend and my brother. Milk May, what's going on? Slid in under the wire. I got you. Awaken one. Jack me off. Always a pleasure. Susanna, good morning, sis. Serbian, what's going on with you, man? Good morning. Good morning. Is it cold up your way, too? Random Jen, good morning. Good morning. Ann C, good morning. Stars Prepper, good morning in the house. Kentucky Patriot, Semper Fi, brother. I hear that. Amen to that. Vom, what's up, my friend? Good to see you this morning. Mayhem Studios. I like it, man. Since 9 p.m. yesterday with delivery at 05:15, but no one's at work. I hear you. It was one of those mornings, huh? And Ohio in the house. Good to see you. Ghost! What's up, my brother? All right, guys, we're gonna jump into this, man. I found a video from 1947 that it talks about a country's march to despotism. I mean, this was coming on the heels of the end of World War II, and they were asking themselves the questions we've always asked ourselves: how did the German nation allow Nazism to take rise in their country? You know, what led to it? And we've talked about these things before, but I want to kind of juxtapose what they say about how the rise of despotism takes root in a country, and look at what's going on in our own country right now. You know, and it's crazy, man. We really are almost there. I mean, we really are kind of living in despotism already. And we see it not only in our country, but we are seeing the rise of despotism on a global scale. There's many despots. That's the thing. And it's not just one person, not even in our own country here in America. There's many despots. Joe Biden's not in control. We know that. Someone else is pulling the strings here, and they're doing it on a global scale in collusion with each other. Anyway, you guys know this, right? Good gracious. 28 feet. Good gracious. Boy, y'all Michiganders, man. Y'all know how to deal with some snow. That's all I gotta say. Man, if that happened here in the Carolinas, we'd be shut down for weeks, man. People would die. It'd be bad. It's amazing how we're all citizens. We're all fellow citizens here in America, but we live in such different extremes, like all over the country. people deal with different things. That's a beautiful thing. Interesting you should mention that. Big chat. We're going to be touching on some of that tomorrow. Hopefully, I've been trying to put some information together, going through different things. Shout out to Dove, man. She put me onto that one channel that covers all this stuff. We're going to be getting into it. But anyway, I want to play these old videos and talk about how the rise of despotism in our country and kind of relate it to what's going on and a lot of stuff we've been talking about. Let's see. Let's get into it.
You can roughly locate any community in the world somewhere along a scale running all the way from democracy to despotism. One to the democracy end, another somewhere in the middle, and a third. Let's find out about despotism. This man makes it his job to study these things.
Well, for one thing, avoid the comfortable idea that the mere form of government can of itself safeguard a nation against despotism. Germany, under President Hindenburg, was a republic. And yet in this republic, an aggressive despotism took root and flourished under Adolf Hitler.
A community rates low on an information scale when the press, radio, and other channels of communication are controlled by only a few people, and when citizens have to accept what they're told. In communities of this kind, despotism stands a good chance.
All right, so yeah, the control of information is how it all begins, man. And we know this. I'm gonna be touching on this tomorrow. There are 6 companies, man, that control 90% of all of our media. You know, I mean, we know how corrupt the mainstream media is. We know it's nothing but propaganda. But 90% of everything we consume, I'm talking about magazines, newspapers, books, movies, news, radio, music, everything is controlled by these 6 companies, which means 6 billionaires, 6 CEOs control 90% of all the information our country consumes. You know, 6 billionaires telling me they don't collude together. And they do, because they have meetings together. They have meetings with their government officials all the time, like secret behind closed doors. We don't know what they're talking about. They meet with the 5 technoligarchs, and they discuss which information is going to be on the internet and whatnot. These 6 people are the ones who control like the Webster's dictionary and how they can change the meanings and definitions of words in real time. You know, so despotism, yeah, we're there. We're in it. We're marching down that road. All Slander Info, good to see you, man. Yeah, I just saw that comment you made. You're right. Talking about Joe Manchin, I was watching that. I almost clipped some of it, and I was like, you know what? I'm tired of talking about this. I'm tired of talking about the Build Back Better plan and all the freaking infrastructure bills. I'm tired of talking about all that stuff because it's all BS. It's not going to help anyone in our country. Actually, it is. It's going to help the despots. It's going to help them solidify and centralize their power even more. Right, man? Cannibals be representing early in the morning on the Morning Reload, man. I missed y'all last night, man. I went to bed at like 7:30. I didn't go to sleep. This is what I was time. I just needed to lay there. I was outside in the rain and the cold yesterday, fixing damn pig pens. Those pigs, man, they are little Houdinis. They be getting in my chicken coops and where I got the rabbit hutches. One of them was in the greenhouse the other day. We're about to have a slaughter, y'all. About to have some pork chops and some ham and all kinds of stuff. 2A plus 2A equals 4A. Interesting. Interesting math. I like it. Grumpy Acres, good to see you. Steve, good morning, man. Good to see you. Yeah, right. Exactly. You know, and they're all in it for their own control. All right. So anyway, now the next part, it starts talking about the control of information. See, the thing is, even if you do control the information, the people have to believe it. They have to accept that it's real, right? And the thing about, you know, what's glorious about the internet and what we're doing right here this morning is they only control 90% of it. It's hard, and they can stamp down here, on the internet. They can stamp down little old me, little old you, man. Channels that have a few hundred subscribers, they can completely obliterate them. We've seen it, right? But there are still voices getting out there. There is still information getting out. So how do they discredit us, right? They start young. They go after our kids. We talk about it all the time. Our schools are no longer schools. They're indoctrination centers, right? Check this out.
See how community trains its teachers.
Bear this in mind. Young people cannot be trusted to form their own opinions. This business about open-mindedness is nonsense. It's a waste of time trying to teach students to think for themselves. It's our job to tell them.
And when teachers put such training into practice, despotism stands a good chance. These children are being taught to accept uncritically whatever they're told. Questions are not encouraged.
How can you ask such a question? Have you got a textbook?
Yes, ma'am.
Does it say here that our law courts are always just?
Yes, ma'am.
Then how dare you question the fact? Sit down.
And so we aren't surprised when...
But it must be true. I saw it in this book right here.
Right. It has to be true. It was on CNN, That's what my school book said. That the school text wouldn't lie. It's not like they're controlled by 6 billionaires and they're trying to control the flow of information, right? Luckily, my children have always gone to a charter school, all right? And the parents get to pick the curriculum there. And Bob Jones, Abeka, stuff like that. But I used to teach in the public schools, man, and it's weird how they get a new edition every year. And every year we get a new edition, I would like, what did they change? And I would flip through it and there wouldn't really be much changed until I actually started teaching the lessons. And I realized they were changing like the language, like the narrative of what they were teaching. I used to get in trouble because I wouldn't teach evolution. And I would actually teach what they had to do to pass the freaking state test. I was like, this is what you need to pass the test. You need to know this. I was like, but evolution's not real. It's a faith-based religion. And then I would teach them creation. I got in trouble for it a couple times, but I never got fired because the parents liked it. And well, God protected me, but there's also a teacher shortage. Anyway, I digress. They start by indoctrinating the teachers themselves when they go to college, right? Then those college grads go with their masters in gender studies, and then they go in our schools and they take it upon themselves to then indoctrinate our children, without our permission. They take away our rights as parents to do this. You guys may have seen this lady. I know there's all kinds of videos coming out of parents going to school boards and cussing them out now. Hurrah, hooray. Thank God for that. Thank God parents are waking the hell up. But this one lady went to the school where the teacher had a private secret club that the parents didn't know about, so she could indoctrinate their children into becoming a part of the LGBTQ plus semicolon * sign open parentheses group. And anyway, check her out, man. She was furious. They changed her daughter's name and gender on her public permanent records without her permission and without her even knowing it.
Let these teachers come in and act as if they have nothing wrong. They've done nothing wrong. A mistake? You allowed these teachers to open their classrooms teaching predatory information to a young child, a mindful child that doesn't even know how to comprehend it all. How do you not know what was going on your own campuses? Did you think that no parent would ever come forward? You will not quiet me today. I will stand here today and protect my child along with every other child who has not come forward yet. Do they have psychiatry degrees that I was unaware of? Because I didn't hire them. Okay, I did not hire them to sit there and nitpick my child's brain. You took away my ability to parent my child, even before I had any knowledge. I didn't even get to show support. You asked for support, I didn't get a chance. You planted seeds, Miss Caldera and Miss Baraki, Mr. Baraki and you, Miss Cagaran. Your job was to educate my child in math, science, English, etc. Do your job and let me do mine.
Exactly. Those she's right. You're supposed to be teaching math, science, social studies, reading and writing, PE, lunch, all the subjects the kids love. They're not going there to learn gender studies. They don't need you to coach them into being this or to being that or to learn what their pronouns need to be. That lady was right. She called them out on their BS. And the reason it came out is because her daughter was definitely allergic to bees or something like that. And on the new records, that didn't make it over. So they had no clue what her allergies were, which is dangerous medically. What if she got stung? All right. They didn't know she would go into anaphylactic shock and their child dies because it was more important that they change her name. And this kid was like elementary level. It wasn't like this was high school or something like that, But that's what they're doing. They've become indoctrination centers, and that's not the only thing they're pushing. They're pushing CRT. They're the whole overall framework. It's not like they're teaching CRT as a course, but the overall framework in these public schools is under the umbrella of the ideologies of CRT. All right, Cliven, good morning, brother. Good to see you, man. Mad Shad, what's up, man? Lady Smith, good to see y'all this morning. Appreciate everybody hanging out. But anyway, so getting back on track, kind of went on a little tangent there, but it's infuriating to see them going after our kids. And this, these aren't conspiracy theories. This is things that's happening to real people in real time, and it's starting to come to light. But anyway, we're marching on the road to despotism. All right, check this out.
And if books and newspapers and the radio are efficiently controlled, the people will read and accept exactly what the few in control want them to. Government censorship is one form of control. A newspaper which breaks a government censorship rule can be suspended. It is also possible for newspapers and other forms of communication to be controlled by private interests.
I thought I told you to kill that story. It'll cost us a lot of advertising.
If that story goes out, I quit.
All right.
Yeah, right. So, and that's what happens. If something comes along that's against the narrative, 6 people make the decision, on our media and even on social media, there's about 5 people making the decision, What are the big 5? We got Apple, Google, Amazon, Twitter, and Facebook. And so they all collude with the other 6 that controls the mainstream media, or 90% of it at least. And if something doesn't fit, we know what they do. They nuke it, man. They destroy it. Look what they just did to Steven Crowder last week. He was talking about the LGBTQ plus *, sign, @ open parentheses, or whatever their new marks are, dash. I don't know. I don't care. And they nuked his channel until 2022. Didn't give him a reason why. Didn't tell him exactly what he said. I think if you're going to take down someone's channel or you're going to give them a strike or whatever, because they went against your policies, you should tell them exactly what it was they said so that they won't repeat it next time. But they never tell you exactly what it was you said. And they also just nuked, who was it? Project Veritas. For doing all these break-in stories on these CNN producers, man. At first, I just thought it was one dude, but it turns out there was a whole nother one who was talking to his some woman that he had a 10-year relationship with, and he was sending her pictures of his soon-to-be stepdaughter, his fiance's daughter. She was underage, and he'd been grooming her since she was 9 years old. She was 14 now. Anyway. Check this out, and it touches on something. All right, trying to be careful how I say that. I'm just gonna say it: the QAnon conspiracy and all that stuff. I mean, let me just say this up front: I don't really believe Q and all that stuff. Okay. That being said, though, I think it's a government psyop. All right, because what it does is combine all the conspiracies together. And it makes it easier for them to find people who totally believe in that. What I do believe in is that there is a global conspiracy of sex trafficking. We know that there's someone on trial right now because of it, man. And all the people that were mentioned, all the elites of the world were mentioned in this. There is a global conspiracy against our kids. Make no doubt, I do believe in that. But follow the plan and stuff like that, and it's constantly changing. I don't believe that stuff. You know, there's no hard evidence that any of that is real. But anyway, I just want to show this little clip. This is from Memology, and it touches on this because Project Veritas got nuked for bringing some of this to light.
We're denouncing, let me ask you about QAnon. It is this theory that Democrats are a satanic pedophile ring and that you are the savior of that. Now, can you just once and for all state that that is completely not true and that disavow QAnon in its entirety?
20 minutes later.
Coming on the heels of last week's arrest of CNN producer John Griffin on multiple counts of trying to elicit unlawful sexual activity with minors, the subject of our story is another CNN producer whom had an ongoing relationship with our source for over a decade.
I believe it is a satanic cult run by the deep state.
You know, that the reason why people believe in the Q conspiracy so much is because of all the evidence that's coming to light, that has always been coming to light, man. We know that something's going on with our kids. I think it was like 5 or 10 years ago. I remember watching it on some kind of documentary about the underground sex trafficking trade. And they said there are estimated 20 million sex slaves in the world. I mean, and that number blew my mind. How is it this national news every day? Why isn't there a global task force? Why isn't Interpol and the FBI and the CIA on this, closing down these sex rings? And it turns out it's because they're all involved in it. They're all a part of it, all the way up to our highest branches of government, you know, and all the elites of the world. The people that control 90% of the world's media. Now, when I say the media, they control those 6 people, they control 90% of the world's media. You know, this not China. China controls 100% of their media and their internet, you know, and I think that's where the despots are trying to take all of our media worldwide. But anyway, Ghost, man, I appreciate you, brother. I appreciate what you bring to the community, man. Like, no doubt, for real. I'm ranting this morning on Sage News. What's up, man? I was just telling them we're gonna be colluding together here, me, you, and Big Chap soon. I sent you another email. I had checked my email. You might have already answered me, but I'll get with you, brother. Arc Livin. I ain't afraid of no ghosts. I appreciate y'all, brother. I appreciate what every one of you brings to this community. You know, there is no community without you guys. But anyway. Moving on down the line. So talking about despotism, talking about it talks about these scales, and it excuse me, coffee gives me gas. I don't know why. But it talks about the respect scale and the power scale. And I never heard it quite explained this way. All right. And it makes sense to me because well, let me show you the clip.
Many observers have found that 2 workable yardsticks help in discovering how near a community is to despotism: the respect scale and the power scale.
A careful observer can use a respect scale to find how many citizens get an even break. As a community moves towards despotism, respect is restricted to fewer people. A community is low on a respect scale if common courtesy is withheld from large groups of people on account of their political attitudes. If people are rude to others because they think their wealth and position gives them that right, or because they don't like a man's race or his religion.
See, that was crazy. I didn't know, like, the German citizens had those cards, man. Or basically saying, hey, are there any Jews around you? Yes or no? Who are they? Writing their names down and stuff like that. And we're getting there. In Germany, they singled out an entire people based on their religious beliefs. You know, that the Jews who lived in Germany, it's not like they were from Israel. They were Germans, you know, who were converted to Judaism. Could have been generations ago. And so they were singled out just for that, man. And good God, man, look what's going on right now all over the world. They're singling people out based on their medical status, our shot card, our shot record status. They're starting to single us out, and based on our political beliefs too. Those dangerous conservatives, man, those radical Republicans, you know. And I'm gonna reiterate something too, because I keep getting emails and stuff from folks. I'm not a Republican. I've never been a Republican. You know, I've never been a Democrat. I've never felt a need to identify as a political party. I'm an American citizen. I've always voted my conscience. Okay. And I have conservative beliefs. I have liberal beliefs. You know, there's even certain aspects of anarchy that I agree with, and libertarianism. You know, it's just because I'm an individual human being, and you can't put me in your little political ideology boxes. And I don't think either of you can be put into those boxes. But people email me all the time. And they leave comments on some of the videos sometimes. They never answer me when I answer them back. I'm trying to wake people up and say, stop being partisan. Your political party does not care about you. If you're a Democrat and you voted for Joe Biden, you're glad your team won, you're an idiot. Those people do not care about you or any other American citizen. They are the establishment. They are the despots. They do not care about you. Stop defending them. Do your own research and wake up and realize what we're doing. You know, I know it seems like I attack Democrats all the time. It's just because they're in power now. I did this all through Bush's administration, the same stuff I'm doing. I'm not for the Republicans at all. That being said, I mean, there are good Democrats and good Republicans. I believe that. But they're far and few in between, and they're not doing anything to help. So screw them. You know, it's up to us, we the people, to stand up. It really is. The time has come. You know, I tell y'all what, I'm on a rant mood this morning. Hey, Julie. Good morning, sis. Oh, no worries. No worries. Let's see. I saw something. I saw a comment, and it made a lot of sense to me. Where'd it go? Where'd it go? Oh, really? Appreciate it, brother. I do. In fact, if I'm not mistaken, Devout Lion will straight up say, like, he's an anarchist libertarian. Like, that's what he identifies as. And I said, okay, I see that. Gas comes out the other end, according to popular opinion. If not, that was a mouth fart. Whatever, man. Then what comes out when you burp? And I didn't say he didn't come out the other end also. All right, moving right along. So with the respect thing, man, I got this clip where they're talking about the Omicron, you know, the dangerous super strain of COVID that hasn't killed one person yet. But anyway, so that they're fearing up, they're gearing up the fear mongering for the winter time. And it's funny, it's hilarious, man. It's really.
For the unvaccinated, you're looking at a winter of severe illness and death. For yourselves, your families, and the hospitals you may soon overwhelm.
Oh, sorry. I can't hear you. Yeah, the window is up, see?
For unvaccinated, we are looking at a winter of severe illness and death for unvaccinated. For themselves, their families, and the hospitals they'll soon overwhelm.
Bruh. If you think I'm here to play around with y'all, goddamn.
Sorry. I meant to cut that guy's cursing off at the end. That's the worst curse word to me. But Joe Biden repeated the exact same thing that dude just said. You know, that Joe Biden don't think for himself at all. I really don't, man. It's elder abuse. He needs help. We need to get like a signal to him so we can get him into a nice rest home, you know, in New York under Andrew Cuomo. He'll take care of him. But It's just going to be a winter of death for all you unvaccinated. No one's died from the new variant yet. It's very mild. That's what we're getting data from around the world. It's hard to say that this is the most dangerous strain when no one is dying. You know, everyone's getting it, whether you're vaccinated or not. And the boosters, you're getting a booster that was for 2 variants ago for this new variant. And it's not effective. Huh? Who would have thought? Gotta get a new COVID shot, right? Jeez, man. But they got to push it. They got to fearmonger. And it's about respect. See how they're making it about the unvaccinated, even though the rate of getting this new variant is the exact same whether you're fully boosted or not, and all that good stuff, according to the CDC. Calm down, YouTube. Anyway, yeah, despotism. We're definitely in it, man. They're definitely trying to amp it up. It's not going to be too long before they figure out a way. Here's something that's curious. You talk to someone who lives in these big cities. You know, they're low information people. They think everything's good because their team won. Oh, the Democrats in charge. Everything's good now. You know, and all these lockdowns and stuff, they just accept it. They say, well, it's for the good of us all. And then you talk to them and you tell them, well, in my state here in South Carolina, doesn't affect us at all. Nothing has changed here since we got out of the first lockdowns. Our governor's like, that's it, enough. There's been no more lockdowns, no more mask mandates, none of that stuff. Some stores here, like the ABC stores, you still have to wear a mask in there. We like to make a spiced rum cake, so I'll go in there and get some Captain Morgan or some what is it, Ron Rico, and you have to wear a mask. And I've been you have to. It's they'll lose their license to sell if they don't make you wear masks. So I get it. But man, people go in there, be pissed as all get out that they got to wear a mask. But what are you going to do? So they piss and moan about it, but they go and put on a mask. You know, so I get that, man. If I go into someone's private establishment, and they want me to wear a mask. If I want to be in their private, I'm going to wear it. You know, but the government tells me I have to everywhere I go, like riding in my car by myself. No, I'm not going to stick my middle finger up at you guys, but you get the point. You get the point. I did a private study and found out that big feet and furry nuggets boost your immunity, right? Furry nuggets. Come on, Ghost. Come on, man. To quote Joe Biden. But anyway, the whole respect thing, man, they have no respect for people who disagree with them. That's why they demonize the Republican Party. The Republican Party is on their side, really. But they play their part as the other. Someone has to be the bad guy. And so the Republican Party has always pretended that they are the party of conservative values. They're the party of the family. They're the party of freedom of speech, of the Second Amendment. But in reality, if you look at their record, for the most part, the Republicans always go along with what the Democrat agenda is. They just do it slower. You know, we've steadily been marching towards socialism and communism for 50 years with both parties. Didn't matter who was in charge. Democrats would speed up as fast as they could get away with. The Republicans, they would just steadily go along with the same agenda, you know. So no, I don't agree with either party. I actually hate both parties. They've ruined our country. All right, so last part. I know we're going over time this morning, man, but I just really wanted to cover this.
A power scale is another important yardstick of despotism. It gauges the citizen's share in making the community's decisions. Communities which concentrate decision-making in a few hands rate low on a power scale and are moving towards despotism. Like France under the Bourbon kings, one of whom said, "The state, I am the state." Today, democracy can ebb away in communities whose citizens allow power to become concentrated in the hands of bosses.
What I say goes, see? I'm the law around here.
The test of despotic power is that it can disregard the will of the people. It rules without the consent of the governed. look beyond the legal formalities of an election in measuring a community on the power scale to see if the ballot is really free. If the citizens can vote only the way they're told, a community approaches despotism.
Right? Without going into elections and all that good stuff. A lot we could say about that. Our government moves on without our consent. These bills and stuff, we're not asking them to write these bills. These $1 trillion bills are 2,000 pages long that the president himself has not even read, doesn't even know what's in them. And yet he's trying to push them in. Oh, yeah, you need my bill. What's in your bill, Joe? What's on page? I want to know. I want Joe Biden, without looking, without someone telling him, I want to know what's on page 1009 of that bill. I want him to tell me exactly what it says. Because if you're going to write a 2,000-page bill, you better know every bit of it by heart. Especially for $1 trillion. You know who's going to pay for these stuff if they pass it? My grandchildren are going to pay for it. They're going to be paying for this bill for generations. You know, that should piss us off. That is taxation without representation, man. It's time for a new Boston Tea Party. Michigander, good morning. Stealing Tree. Eric, I like the new name, man. Anyway, guys, so yeah, we know the power show. Did you guys see Heels Up Harris on Charlemagne's new show? I don't like Charlemagne. I don't like his name, Charlemagne the God. There's only one God, dude. But I think this whole thing was staged. I think he was pretending to go hard. He is a complete establishment shill. He is the one who interviewed Joe Biden on his previous show and allowed him to make one of the most racist statements I've ever heard a politician make, man. If you don't know if you're for me or Trump, then you ain't black. This almost 80-year-old white dude who fought against integration of the schools, who used to use the N-word prolifically on the Congress floor while they were debating stuff, who eulogized Robert Byrd, a former Grand Dragon in the KKK, said he was a good guy. Charlemagne allowed him to make that racist statement and didn't call him on it, all because they had to push the establishment view, you know. So here he is. He's pretending to push against Kamala Harris, and the whole thing is staged to me. Check it out.
All right, who's the superhero that's going to speak against Joe Manchin? No. I want to know who's the real president of this country. Is it Joe Biden or Joe Manchin?
I'm sorry, I interrupted. I don't think the vice president can hear you. It's Simone. I'm so sorry, Charlemagne. We have to wrap.
She can hear me.
You can hear me? Can you hear me now?
Can you hear me, Madam Vice President?
So I'm sorry, we got to wrap.
Oh.
So I'm sorry to interrupt.
They're acting like they can't hear me.
I can hear you.
Oh, so who's the real president of this country? Is it Joe Manchin or Joe Biden, Madam Vice President?
Come on, Charlemagne. It's Joe Biden.
I can't tell sometimes.
No. It's Joe Biden. And don't start talking like a Republican about asking whether or not he's president.
Do you think Joe Manchin is a problem?
It's Joe Biden. And I'm vice president. And my name is Kamala Harris.
She goes on and ran. It was like 3 minutes long. So I think he did that to give her the chance to pretend to be indignant. And she goes and talks about all the things her and Joe Biden have done so far to improve the lives of people. And she talks about this bill. It was all staged, man. Like there was no, because at the end he was all meek. You know, he said, well, that's the Vice President Harris that I was looking for to come out. Man, shut up. You're a shill. You know, you allow these people to control you, man, to do their bidding. And it's evil what they're doing. They're trying to enslave everybody. They really are. All of us. Right, Vaughn? Exactly, man. You know, and Charlemagne allowing them to do this and to use him this way. You know, he has a real voice to liberal people. People who are low information, and he could really reach people with the truth if he had a mind to do so. But he don't care. Dude's a millionaire. You know, he's a part of the problem. He's a part of the system. Right? Oh, definitely. Her hanksters are definitely bigger than Joe's, man. But anyway, guys, man, we were way over time this morning. I just wanted to get through this stuff. And plus, I'm just on a rant today. But man, I appreciate you guys hanging in there with me. Stay tuned tomorrow. We're going to touch more on this stuff. We're going to really get into some deep stuff. Really going to need you guys' prayers and support. Joyce, I saw you earlier in the chat, sis. We've been praying for you. Guys, Joyce Boy, she left a comment asking for prayer. She's going through it. The enemy's attacking us on all fronts. So, sis, I hope God's just raining down the blessings on you. I hope you have a blessed Christmas. Hope all you guys have a blessed Christmas, man. Happy New Year. I can't believe 2021 is almost over and we're getting ready to go into 2022. Can't wait. 2022 is going to be the year, man. Stuff's going to happen. Revolution is going to kick off. It's going to be amazing. But I hope you guys have a great day. If I don't see you somewhere else, someone else's chat, man, or in the comments, shoot me an email. Let me know what you guys think. Don't think you're bothering me if you send an email. If you send me emails, I'll get to them. I promise. I do go through all my emails. I don't answer all of them, but I do read them. And I do appreciate you guys' comments, everything you have to say. It's not just my voice out here. It's y'all's voice too. And I appreciate it. You guys have a blessed day. Let's get out there. Let's change the culture. Let's fight for the culture. Let's fight for our kids, man. Let's fight for their futures. And let's be prepared. God bless y'all. Y'all have a good day. I'll see you later.